Okay? Thanks. Please and thank you. Let me refuel. Oh, that's why I was telling y'all before. Before I caught another munchie. I forgot again what I was gonna say. I need to write these questions down though. I mean, not write them down. I need to put them in a document. I was gonna put them on a document in my phone, but then if orange agents ever get my phone, I don't want it in there. Not that it matters. It won't be that big a deal, but there's a reason why I'm, for the most part, talking code anyway. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, I want to find I have code words for different things, obviously, but I want to be consistent with them. And so in tech, when I write these down, I don't even want to just say stuff like smoke. Well, you know what, it doesn't matter, because every now and again I slip and say what the fuck I mean, and at the end of the day, those occasional slips, because it's not often, they don't bother me, because shit, shit's legal, even though it's illegal. If you can make sense of that, which it doesn't matter if you can or not, because our nation is built on a lot of nonsensical fuckery. Anyway, that's what you are. I know there's only one like you. There's no way. There's no way they could have made two. You are you're the last, first, the last, and the everything to somebody. So stop feeling alone. Trauma just makes that, it's just a direct side effect of trauma. Even if there are people out there loving on you, even just through the energies. Okay, every now and then, there's a question that I got from Corals, and the reason why is because they're good. They're good fucking questions. But this is not necessarily a good fucking question. It's just one of the ones that I wrote down, apparently. I'm not sure why. But I noticed you don't smoke a lot of purples. Why? And my understanding is that purples are, for the most part, indicas. For me, if it is a fact that most purples are most heavily indica, it's because I don't want to be unproductive. Because heavy indicas floating around during a time where it was only available black market is where we didn't, you didn't have a choice. You got whatever the dealer had. And so I think that led to reinforce the stereotype of cannabis making people lazy. It's not that there's no truth to it, because there are truth to a lot of stereotypes, right? Obviously. Because my whole point of why I avoid any heavily indica is because it will do just that. It'll sit your ass down. And unless sitting your ass down is what you're trying to do. And sometimes you need to do just that, bitch. Females do too much in the name of being a woman. And don't do for yourself. Sometimes for your own self, you need to sit your ass down. Get you a heavy indica. And sit your responsible ass down somewhere. Take care of self. That's what this is about. Men and women. Men too. I see you brothers out there holding it down for the family and not getting credit just because there's so many other deadbeats that are representing you, unfortunately, because they play into the exact stereotypes that colonizers want imposed upon the whole lot of us. But I see you out there, and it's beautiful, and I'm glad to be a part of it and be a part of you. I appreciate y'all holding it down without needing accolades, but I'm here giving it to you now. Love y'all. Thank you. So yeah, I'm not privy to indica, but there's a time and place for everything, and there are times where one needs to sit their ass down. Like, for example, if someone is meditating specifically to be able to sleep, because maybe insomnia is the actual condition that they are suffering, to use it. So yeah, it's time and place for everything, but in my aspirations to be productive, I'm not privy to purples or indicas, whether you can see that they're visually that they're purple or not. Who was the first person you got meditated with? A couple of my homeboys tried it when I was 22, and I don't know if I just didn't know how to inhale it. I mean, I didn't believe it anyway. Okay, there are 3 stories. I'm just finding a way to make them shorter than they are. I'm not trying to make a short story long in this piece. But there are 3 stories. 3 levels to this answer. The first story doesn't include me doing it at all. well, in my 20s, I had friends that were much older than me. Friends who were going through menopause, in fact. And so, one in particular smoked weed. Well, one in particular, well, there was only one that I knew smoked weed. There was and if anybody else did, and I didn't know, there's probably a reason for it, and you'll have the answer to what that is right now. Because, oh, and the irony is, she got her weed from church. We're going to do a whole video on religion and cannabis. Y'all ready for that? Let me know. Maybe I'll start adding an addendum, e-bag and addendum on the end of these videos. And I think it'll be more personal if I just do it every time. I just don't want to have a boilerplate phrase that I robot through, because that seems so phony. But if that's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do, right? Because you gotta pay your bills somehow. You gotta pay your bills, and if you're really sharing really valuable information, you should be compensated. I don't care if it's $1 a week. I think that's a good price. I think I'm gonna charge $4.20 a month. Yeah, y'all tithe me $4.20 a month. Whenever you can scrounge up $4 out, because don't take food out of your children's mouths. But at the same time, you don't need that Birkin. So I'm officially charging you $4.20 a month for this good shit, this good information that I'm sharing. And if you skip a month, don't feel guilty and don't comment like you owe me some money. You better still comment and participate. I mean, if you had something to say. Don't be like people that owe you money, so then they don't know you. You know, all of a sudden you invisible. But they cheering and all hooping and hollering, as long as they know they're going to ask you for some money. Right? They got something to say to you, but they come, boy, they be MIA when they know they owe you money. You ain't got to do that shit with me. Because if you owe me money and you choose not to pay it back and act like you didn't borrow it, it's okay. I'm not even upset. You know, that's the thing. I'm just going to be impressed with you if you feel comfortable ever asking me again for anything. I'm going to be impressed at your confidence. So anyway, yeah, Grown Toast costs you $4.20 a month. You can pay at the link on my main page. Don't act like you can't find it. You know where the fuck it is. Click on it and put some money in it. And make sure, because YouTube be tripping. And who's going to tell me? Who's going to be like, oh, I tried to put money in and it didn't work? Who's going to say that? They're going to be like, oh, I don't have to. And you don't have to, but you know what I'm talking about. Word? $4.20 a month. I e-beg of you. So yeah, my bestie, when I was 22, around 22, my bestie was in her 40s and going through menopause. So, oh, I know why that's valid. That'll have to be in one of our mature girl talk videos. But anyway, what's interesting is that she used to go to church every weekend. We traveled, so we stayed in hotels, you know, creatives. She used to find a church wherever we were. She would find a church on Sunday. And during this particular tour, she was going to church every Sunday, and that's where she got her weed. From church. I was flabbergasted. I'm a preacher's kid, and I'm convinced cannabis is equivalent to heroin. And I take that back. I know it's not that bad, but I do believe it destroys brain cells and will kill you. You know, so I do have that impression of it. And she would get her weed from church. So she and I were, so sometimes, we would always be in one or another's hotel room, and we would be running our mouth talking. That's what best friends do. But whenever she had her Sunday weed, and she would roll a joint, she would just take 2 puffs. And her eyes would get red so fast. That was the first time I had to be forced to admit that it worked that fast. Because I didn't believe that you could just smoke something like people smoke cigarettes, you know what I mean? And you can't tell any difference. So for somebody to take 2 puffs off a joint and then be like, I'm so high, I'd be like, oh, they just so dramatic. You are high. You ain't nothing had time to do nothing. Well, little did I know. On top of that, I thought it was bad. I thought weed smokers were bad. And I had the whole stereotype connotation of people that did it. Although I knew what kind of person she was. I knew she was a great, great woman. Which conflicted with how could she get caught up in these drugs. That was my thought. How could someone so smart get caught up in these drugs? Yeah, she would take 2 puffs and be blitzed from her church weed. And you know what's sad? Still in my spirit, when I think back on it, I remember looking at her, and she thought it was so funny. Because whenever she would light up, I'd be like, okay, well, you know, our visit is over. If we went, like, she wasn't gonna do it in my room, and she didn't have it in my room. And so it would only be when I was visiting her room, and she decided to chill and relax. She at home. And so she would take it out and take a couple of puffs, and I'd be like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I would leave. I wasn't gonna sit there and watch her destroy herself with drugs. Ain't that something? Brainwash is fascinating. Why good people can't be that good at conning people into doing good stuff? President Obama, why you couldn't brainwash everybody into being good people like that? Why you just gotta try to do it the fair way? See what the fair way gets us. People out here expecting good moral things out of racists. You shocked and amazed that they said the N-word. I have had my fill of the news saying, of people saying, OMG. Guess what 45 said? The crazy part is you don't have to guess. Whatever your guess is probably what he said. No matter how outlandish, he probably said that. And I'd rather not spend my time discussing something that we already know. I'd be quite obliged to be disrupted by whatever I'm doing or saying or not doing for you to tell me that the nation got together and got fed up and impeached his ass. I'll stop what I'm doing to hear that story. But don't tell me about the shit that we already know that we're continuing to allow as a nation. I know some people are doing some things sprinkled here and there, but nobody. This son of a bitch has been president for years. If they wanted to impeach him, he wouldn't have lasted 6 months. Anyway, yeah. So, well, this is gonna take up this whole video. So anyway, so she would take a couple of puffs medicinally, and I rolled my eyes when she said it helps me. She said it helps her sleep or something. See what I mean? I still remember that frame of mind. I was gonna say that bullshit, but that wasn't bullshit. It helped her sleep. It helped her relax. I had no clue. And you couldn't have made me believe it, even though she was out of her own mouth saying, this is how my body reacts to it, responds to its benefits for me. I know this is an intelligent lady. This like, and matter of fact, listening to her is what got me on Maxine Waters' jock back in the 90s. Because I would listen to her, Maxine Waters this, Maxine Waters that, Maxine Waters, Google Gaga. And this lady was also an actual Black Panther. The lady that I'm talking about that was my best friend. She was a Black Panther. So she was politically intelligent as well. Another reason why I was so disappointed in her drug use. But she had a great admiration for Maxine Waters, and I didn't know who Maxine Waters was. But the more she talked about it, the more curious I got about her. So I did a little bit of research, still not a lot. But I did enough to know that I respected her very, very much. So she has always been a priceless gem that you are now, that social media has been able to introduce your daughters to. She has always been this gem to the nation. So yeah, she admired Maxine Waters and smoked weed, which I thought was horrible. That she got from church, which I thought was ironic. Tragically ironic is what I thought it was. Based on my frame of mind. So that was that. She smoked in front of me and I thought it was horrible. Probably like a year later than that, two of my homeboys was out smoking it and outside a hotel smoking. And they were like, you want some? I was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. And they was like, well, you want to try it? And I was like, no, sure, I guess. Because I felt comfortable because they was there to protect me. And so I got it and I took a puff or whatever, but I don't know if I inhaled wrong or whatever, but nothing happened. And so I was still in disgusted at drug use mode. So I was like, I'm going to leave y'all out here to it and let you druggies hang out. And so I went to my room. That was the end of that. But ultimately, the first person I ever meditated with was Mr. And it was after I collapsed to my death in the middle of the night on the way to the bathroom with a torn ACL and meniscus. And he said he was laying in bed. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I had torn my, you know what, the short answer to that is Mr. Mr. was the first person that I meditated with. To make a short story long. I'm going to either edit all that out or put it in its own separate video. Are you earth friendly? Well, I hope I'm not mean to the earth. I support gay rights. Gay rights don't need my support. It's a thing. It's a right for you if you're gay. It's like asking a racist if they support civil rights.
We're happening, whether they support us happening or not. If you consider them people, humans, you would need to ask that question. I feel like your homophobia made you have to ask that question. I'm against homophobia, though.
What if I don't like it? Then bitch, you don't like it. But I would say don't pull a millennial number and review a product and be able to do a video review on it after using it once. Same theory. Not because you need to build a tolerance, but you need to build an awareness of how your biological makeup responds to it. And because there could be reasons for that. You could be using it to give you energy, but you hit an indica, and that's gonna lay you out. Or you already suck at portion control. You're on a weight loss journey. You already suck at portion control, and then you hit something that turns your munchies up. That's not gonna be helpful. But there is a way to work that though. There is a way to work your munchies when you are on a weight loss journey. So with inhalation, it works pretty quickly. Within a minute, it takes effect. And that's another question I've always had for other people. I'd like to know, when you smoke, how long does the high last you? How long do the effects last you after smoking? For me, I think I'll generalize at 30 minutes, at a half hour. And the reason why is because I know that when I first started, I'd say it probably lasted an hour. But then we got to the point sometimes where we would be watching a movie, because I like to watch a movie meditated. And that way it doesn't matter whether it was good or bad. It's going to be enjoyable. But yeah, inhalation, it used to last me about an hour. But it got to a point where Mr. noticed that I was, taking tokes, like either when we took a break in a commercial to go to get snacks, or at first I could meditate, and then I would be good for about an hour before I did it again. And then it got to the point where I started remeditating like every 20 minutes, it seemed like, to the point where he was like, it was starting to look like money. And he was like, you wasting it. Because, he was like on some, aren't you good? Like, didn't you just, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, yeah, but, I could go again, It's not, I don't think it's going to hurt anything for me to go again. And so I know he was feeling like it seemed like I was running through my meditation kind of wastefully at that point. You should take for granted. If you're paying, unless you have free access to it, you shouldn't be wasteful. But it seemed like eventually it got to where I was meditating every 20 minutes, the times that I would meditate. Now, I could be good for an hour, but I still pretty much supplement every half hour when inhaling. Now, to this day, I still haven't done a dab. So call me, all good people out there that aren't racist. This includes colonizers. I know there's some colonizers that aren't knowing the races out there. And if you're in the industry, call a bitch. Don't let me find out you're lying, though. I'll expose your ass. To this day, I haven't done a dab. But just the idea of a dab, first of all, I'm not here for what this rig looks like. It looks so complicated. Now, in all fairness, I thought the bubbler looked complicated before I actually even knew anything about doing it. Like, at the time when my best friend was taking those Sunday sesh hits, mini Sunday sesh hits, I was oblivious to there being any such thing as a bong. And if I would have seen a bong, to me, in my conditioned head, bong equal crack pipe. That was the same damn thing. Because even people that smoke weed would smoke joints or blunts or something. Or spliffs. Or whatever the fuck they call them. I don't know. I'm still not sure. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Roll a joint. But let me finish the story first. So, concentrates versus inhalation. So, I got to where I could just supplement every half hour now. But it makes me wonder about people that do dabs. Like, so when you do a dab, do you do it less often than you would flower? I'm not sure how that works. And it always made me wonder if people who do dabs, first of all, double your cannabis expenses, right? Because you doing a dab which is how much worth of flour? A gram worth of flour? Do you know how long it takes me to get through a bowl? I almost said a gram of flour, but I'm like, shit, even a bowl. If I fill a bowl up, just me, like I can hit that bitch 3 or 4 times, and if I'm only supplementing every half hour, that covers the span of a movie, right? Every half hour, that's 3. A full bowl, you can get a good, let's get 3. We on 3 right now, right? In this video. Oh no, because I'm going to cut it and shit. But this is 3. And you know what else? I'm going to go ahead and light this. I didn't want to light this candle and use up my wick because this is all I have left. That's all I have left. And I'm broke. Y'all send me some money. Y'all get together and send me 40 bucks at least. How much is that? Let's see. How many of y'all would it take to send me $4.20 for me to have enough for a little supply of... If y'all send me $4.20 right now, please and thank you. And I ain't gonna lie, Mister would get it for me, but this is not his thing. This is my thing to share information with you. He has to do everything else with his household with his money. I want him to take a fucking vacation, is what I want for him. So no, y'all send me the money. I'm broke. And I don't want him to buy it for me. Well, I do. Shit. I do, but you know, he gotta do other stuff. Shit. I didn't tell y'all a water heater pipe busted last night, did I? Oh, well, I didn't tell you just directly as a video. I told you because it happened while I was doing a video. Or I noticed it while I was doing a video. Yeah, I went in there, water spewing everywhere. And then was scared the whole time because, I don't know, I've heard, you know, we've heard horror stories about people in their hot water heaters. And I didn't want that bitch to blow up. Didn't Mark Curry burn up his whole body, Richard Pryor style, behind a hot water heater accident, explosion or some shit? I want him to be okay. I want him to be okay. It's bad enough I have sympathy, stress when his body is aching. But that's not your problem. That's not your problem. And we are very blessed that it happened when it happened. We're very blessed that it happened when he was home. I wouldn't know what to do. What I'm gonna do? And what if he's somewhere miles and miles away and can't help me? And I'm an introvert. Who am I gonna? And let's say you have to make an appointment. Who am I going to? Okay, that was 5, I think. And that's cashed out. But, yeah, we're very blessed that it happened while he was here. And that it was a pipe issue that can be fixed, apparently. And that we don't have to get a whole new water heater. I'm very thankful for all those things. And thankful for him in general. That's the type of shit that kills my tomboy dead. You know what I mean? I'd be like, fuck that. I'm finna love on this man like a bitch, like a pup. I'm finna follow him around like a puppy. Be like, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You fix everything. You make everything okay. And it's a shame, but I wouldn't want to be in this world without him. Even if we be across the world from each other, traveling one of us and not the other, I just need him to be a part of my life. Because I look out into the world, I sign on to social media, I try to imagine. And even when I think I might be interested in something, he shows up and support, bitch. I told y'all, I'm the reason that cannabis got introduced into our lives. Well, obviously, if I'm the user. But it's not that he wouldn't, but 45's America got him, so. But you know what he would do? If he could, he would use my ingestible meditation, because we know the functional amount that just makes you barely even know you even did anything. Like, it doesn't make you high. You're functional, you're focused, you can handle your business. Your aches don't pain you like they did. It really is a cure-all. It really is a cure-all. And so I find ingestion to be more medicinally effective than inhalation. Not that inhalation is not also, but I think the ingestion is. And part of the reason why the ingestion is because that is in its own sense is a concentrated version, which is why I believe that when you get to, that's what I was comparing it to, right? Inhalation and ingestion. Which is why when you get to ingestion, I told you inhalation is immediate, within 1 minute. And ingestion takes anywhere from half hour to 2.5 hours. And I say that because you only start noticing the changes in 2.5 hours. It's not to say it didn't kick in an hour and a half, but you only, by the time you're 2 hours in, you're like, oh, my shit don't hurt no more. Or like, because I know sometimes when I take it to treat a headache or something like that, like I still feel the headache. It just doesn't hurt. I don't know if I can explain that really. Only people who use it will know what I'm talking about. So there's the pressure, but it's not painful. Like, you would literally be like, oh my God, this would be killing me if I wasn't meditated. I feel it. It doesn't hurt, but I feel that shit. That shit would be fucking me up right now. And, after a while, when you regularly treat something like that and it's effective to that extent, that vividly, that noticeably, then what else is medicine for? That's what it's for, right? That's the benefit. The con is that it takes so long. So that means that you have to have shit planned. And you have to have shit planned according to the amount. Like if you're literally only you're going to be doing something productive, or you're going to be doing something where you need to focus, then you're only going to use a smallest amount. But if you're ingesting recreationally and you take enough to be lit, then it's going to take a couple of hours. So when it kicks in, I'm going to need to be somewhere where I can just be chill or have access to food. I need to be ready and set up or laid out, chilling when it hits me. Okay? And speaking of that, I recently dosed myself to the max. Okay, some of you know what I mean when I say I dose myself. When I dose myself, I get a new batch of meditation. And so in getting this new batch, well, he helps me. We dose it out for me according to how much needs to be each dose, right? So that's fine. We can do that easy, no problem. But before we can do that, we need to find out how much of the new batch is, because, and speaking of specific medicinal use, I am of the opinion that, say, even if you're just a little sick, but you haven't admitted that to nobody because you haven't admitted to yourself. You know you sick. You sick, but you don't want to admit it because you still got to go to work and you got some stuff you need to take care of. So you be like, nah, I'm not. I've done that. My sisters and my family knows that. I'll be like, Mister will be like, you seem like you're getting sick. You sick? Like I might get the sniffles or something, or I have a headache. He'll be like, you sick? I'll be like, nope. I be rebuking it. I rebuke it. And so what I'll do is I'll call myself, because I'm rebuking the sickness, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sick. But I'll meditate, let's just say recreationally. And what'll happen is the potency of that use will go toward my sickness. Have y'all ever experienced that? And so because that has happened so much, where I've been sick and I've meditated to help me through the sickness, that I won't get lit recreationally. It's almost like cannabis says, not now, bitch. We don't have time to play. You got some stuff going on inside your body I need to take care of. So I won't even get high. The cannabis will be like, you're sick right now. I need to take care of that first. You can be high some other time. And I'm like, but I was trying to be lit. And my body's like, no, bitch, me first. And the truth is, that should be the priority. Your health is the priority. And the big non-secret is that cannabis can benefit you in healing said sicknesses. All of them, ho. It's not for everybody, but I'm just telling you, goddammit, I haven't met the people who it's not for, is all I'm saying. And obviously it's not for the people who are still brainwashed into thinking it's such a horrible drug. But that doesn't mean it's not for them. It's just not for them because they believe it's a detrimental drug, and it's not. And so let's not rewrite people's experience that are going to come in. Let's not rewrite. Some of them are going to be trolls, but some of them are going to be those people or that are in that minority that their biological makeup does not agree with cannabis. That happens. Nobody's acting like that doesn't happen. But I'm telling you, it's so prominently beneficial that I have not met any of the people to whom it would not be beneficial. I don't know many people who use cannabis, so I can't talk. I really don't. I mean, I talk about people that I do know use it, but that's me using it as reference. Because who else I'm gonna use as a reference if nobody else uses it? So, but I don't really know a lot of people that because our parents were baby boomers, and so our parents were convinced that it was a horrible, horrible drug. So we, in turn, were also, God forbid, pun intended, if you went to church. The church is sure wanting to convince you. Not wanted to. The church sure convinced y'all of oh so many things. Oh so many things. Oh so many things. Oh so many things. But yeah, I think that's interesting. And I don't think there's ever been such a study on that. Whether if you're not feeling well and you smoke weed, if you don't get as high. Because I know they won't give it credit for healing your illness first and foremost. So let's don't even say that. Have you ever went to get high using cannabis and couldn't get high? I'm not talking about you start dabbing and that's all you did, so you tried to smoke some flower and it didn't do anything for you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you always smoke weed. A lot. But you get sick, but you don't, it seemed like you didn't get high. I think when that happens, I think it's the cannabis working on your sickness before it'll give you leeway to just be mentally chill, to be high. They got me not even, and I can't even say high, get high, be high comfortably without still having that inner twinge of don't do drugs. I still got it in there. Even with all my advocacy. I mean, not like now actively, but whenever I think back to how I looked at things in a certain situation, I can get disgusted all over again at people I looked at, and I shook my head like, ugh, drug users. Or what a waste. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. That was the sentiment. What the fuck, America? Like, really? And then you learn about the pharmaceutical involvement and the whole I'm done with that. But Mister's the first person I meditated with. So basically, the first person that I got meditated with was Mister. Oh yeah, that's what I was getting to, is the fact that he's not against it, but it's not something that he can just freely do like that. But low key, I want to conveniently plan the people you learn to love on social media that you would have never ever crossed paths with before. I really love some of y'all. And I talk a bunch of shit, but it's mostly because of the motivation for which y'all get drawn to people. Millennials in particular. This is grown talk, so most of y'all gonna be grown anyway. But as far as millennials, like the types of people that they are drawn to and why. Like, okay, I'm not here to read millennials though. No, Mike. Nope. I could do that right now. I could do Grover Washington. I could do this knucklehead. Y'all can't see my setup. Sweet. Yeah, see, that would be problematic if I was doing mukbang, wouldn't it? I was thinking about using my glass screen. That's something I think I used a glass screen once when I first started meditating, and I didn't like it. I don't know, it seemed like every time you pour out the ash, the glass screen is gonna come out with it, and I don't know. I like to touch stuff as little as possible, to the point where sometimes I leave the bowl a little bit resiny when I'm cleaning it, so that when I put the fresh screen in, that the resin will semi-catch the edges of that screen. That's just me. If y'all have better tips, leave them in the comments. I'm learning too. I'm not a professional in the industry, and even when I get up in the industry, people are just gonna bring me in for the real talk, you know. But in the meantime, I encourage you to educate yourself and to remain all knowledgeable of all the laws and also the benefits, the ones you know about as well as the ones you don't. If you happen to be a person whose biological makeup is either resistant or does not agree with cannabinoids, you need to be aware of that. If you're one of the unfortunate 0.00001% out there who just can't do it. You need to be aware of that too, but I'm not talking to y'all. Y'all shouldn't be on this channel. I don't want you to be jealous. Cause don't get over here. You're going to be hating that you can't enjoy it like us. Because we're going to be enjoying it. Girl, we're going to be enjoying it. Bruh. And if your Christianity is so extremist that you just can't fathom, like the me that I described when I was watching my friend smoke her Sunday morning church weed, right there in front of me. If you're that person, this ain't for you. But you already know that. You already know that, cause you saw what it was about and you still brought your ass over here. So you was either looking to be triggered, or you really got convinced by colonization that you absolutely know what they told you as knowledge to be fact, because you didn't feel like thinking for yourself. But either way, I mean, you can stay. I'm not gonna be mad if you stick around. Something might click, so I'm not mad if you stick around. I just don't want you to get mad if you choose to stick around. Don't listen to what I say, feel it. Feel what I say. Feel what I say. Because I'm going to protect my spirit. I'm just encouraging you to protect yours as well. Because I will call your bullshit. And that might not be the smoke you want. Yeah, so I actually have a nephew in the industry who I haven't even had extended conversations about it. But I would love to. You know, it's a weird dynamic that we have. But I love him all the same. I know he has love for us. And for the record, that's not where I get my stuff. I would like to. It's not because he does not want to or would not, but I don't want any kind of links to him. I don't want anybody to sabotage him based on the shit I talk when I be calling out bullshit, you know? So we were gonna go visit him, visit his area, but there's really nothing to do out there. When we go, we pretty much want to test some stuff and do a whole bunch of nothing, like do nothing. Literally, we intend to go and sit out on a balcony and do nothing. But I can hardly wait. When it was criminally illegal here, I just got my life off of watching sex videos. And well, I won't say that. I got my life off of watching Coral's videos because even though she's very young, she's an adult about it. And I really enjoy spending time with adults who appreciate and respect it. And still know how to let their hair down and be goofy and have a good time and have deep conversations as well as shallow conversations. But in the community, there are always these juvenile ass bitches and hoes, just misprocreated Neanderthals, colonizers and niggas who just want to get high. You know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get high, but who just want to be high and just be stupid and young and ignorant and racing to see who can do the biggest dab. And why do we need to race to see who can do the biggest dab? Make that make sense to me. Can y'all make that make sense to me? Because this is grown talks. Ain't no way in the world I'm be able to relate to it. Make sense to it. When I was young, well, I thought it was a horrible drug when I was young. But if I would have been a young person who indulged, if I indulged when I was young, I can't see myself wanting to see who can smoke the most. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard of, and wasteful. Come on now, 100 hits of weed challenge. I was so disgusted with the 100 hits of weed challenge. You know what? All I could see in that challenge was wasted medicine for people that need it. And I support people doing it recreationally. I'm that bitch. But when I see people do shit like 100 hits of weed challenge, I'm like, this is the type of motherfucker that's just flexing because they got it. You know, once you reach a certain point, that's as high as you gonna get. Particularly if you're a veteran, and of course, only a veteran is gonna even think to do 100 hits of weed challenge. So that's 100% of you bitches. All I see is someone take a couple of nice hits off of apparently good weed. Not that I believe good weed is a myth. Ask me in the comments if you want to know my opinions on that. But not that there's no such thing as good weed, but there's a story behind why that's a myth to me. But because ain't nobody returning no weed to no dispensaries. But every time I look at 100 hits of weed challenge, 100 hits. Ooh, YouTube ain't gonna even let me search that. I'm gonna take a weed out of that search. You know they keeping tabs on everything you search, bitch. That's another thing I used to always be careful of. They got one black dude to do this dumb shit. Oh my God, so many dumbass kids. I mean, even if you want to do a lot of hits of weed just to see what it'll do to you, just do a bunch. There's no reason to do 100 hits. If you are a grown person who respects cannabis and you see that there is a 100 hits challenge, okay, if you are an adult age person who claims to respect cannabis and you see a 100 hits challenge and you are inspired to do that shit, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So when I see the 100 hits challenge and I look at these children, after the between the 4th and the 20th one, I'm like, them last 80 hits could have went to somebody that really needs it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's so wasteful and disrespectful to people that, I know that's not how they meant it. It's disrespectful to people that are in prison for 2 joints, whose families were destroyed and ripped apart for minimal amounts. I mean, I couldn't do it just because I have no interest in wanting to, but I wouldn't want to do it because it would be, to me, it's disrespectful. I don't like to be wasteful of it. Even if I were to have abundant access to it, I wouldn't want to be hellaciously wasteful with it because I know how many people want and need it but don't have access to it. Like, there was a movie. It was a cannabis movie. A canna movie. Cannabis movie. God, dog. Everything can't be coded. It was a cannabis movie. And there was a scene where Redman, I don't know if Method Man was in there with him, but they were in a car and they spilled a little of the cannabis on the dash. And it was all they had. And that mofo was like, say it's all spilled right here. He was on that dashboard with his finger like, he was trying to get up every little crumb. But there are a lot of people that can relate to that. And even though I'm blessed not to be able to relate to that, I know just how many people can. Even if money wasn't your issue, but that you just had trouble finding access. So the idea of wasting what you have is just, it's just a hurtful, it's hurtful, you know. Especially when someone, if you know of anyone who's sick or in pain, do you know how helpful the 80 hits that you wasted? You actually wasted 95. But I'm being generous. Let's just say you smoke all the time, so it takes you 20. But you wasted 80 hits for a person that could have been temporarily not in pain. That make me mad at you. I'm mad at y'all. I'm mad at everybody and the parents of everybody that did the 100 hits of weed challenge. I'm mad. I love y'all though, but I'm mad at you. It's the dumbest shit. Really dumb. And selfish. When y'all donate money to me, I'm not gonna be wasteful with it like that. Trust and believe. So, but I don't think I even have to tell you that. People that would donate know that. I went through one of my Instagram followers pages for the first time. It took me a while because he seemed like, anyway, I was kind of hesitant about even responding to him in general because I have my reasons. But anyway, I finally decided after a while of him leaving certain comments, I decided to go check out his page, and girl, this motherfucker be cooking his ass off. He don't know that he lives in my home state where I was raised. And he doesn't have very many pictures of himself, which I'm not one of those people that automatically assume somebody. Y'all complain about people posting selfies of themselves all the time, but then you get mad and say, you ain't nobody, you ain't got no followers, and I don't see no pictures of you. What do you want? You want them to be self-absorbed, or you want them to not, like, can they be whoever they are? What if they introverted? What if they wanted somebody to like them because of who they are and not what they look like? Dumb hoe. But on the other hand, in 99% of the cases, trolls who are actual trolls also don't have face pictures, and they usually have a bunch of pictures that could be from anywhere or anybody's. And what's that song, y'all? Ooh, they used to have murderous bass lines, didn't they? Oh, killing it. The hype squad is everything. Sing it, Kathy. I'm gonna ask her who was that hyping her up at the end of the song. I'm gonna ask her right now.